Okay, hello to anyone viewing this video. This is part 2 of my series on how to use TJ Sheets for tournaments. In part 1, we went over, setting up the tournament using the control sheet. And this video is going to be all about scorekeeping. Now, both of the videos are actually mutually independent. They aren't really parts. Like this video is specifically meant for if you're scorekeeping. But yeah, I'm calling it a series because whatever. And I will repeat the disclaimer I gave in the last video, which is I'm not an expert in TJ Sheets. This is just what I've discovered from my own testing and what I'm sharing with you all for future generations. If you encounter any errors, please talk to me either in person if you can talk to me in person, or if you're in the future, contact me electronically and I'll put a correction in the comments. With that out of the way, let's get started. So you're scorekeeping in room 101, and your first match is going to be between Eden Prairie C and Eden Prairie H. So very first thing you do is you find Eden Prairie C and you find Eden Prairie H. And then you can start putting in their rosters, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can use the drop downs or you can also type them in. I believe for H, yeah, H was one of the ones where I only put the number 1. Let me just fix that real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, as I said, the roster page here is sort of like live updating. So since I updated 1, 2, 3, and 4, I can now put in 2, 3, and 4. And I'll get into that once we start talking about how to substitute players. So you've inputted the team names, you've inputted the rosters, now it's time to keep score. It is pretty intuitive. It functions like a normal score sheet. So let's say for the first toss-up, player 1 on H powers, and then they get 20 on the bonus. There's not going to be any bounce backs, so this column is irrelevant. Once the bonus is read, the row locks, and we go to toss-up cycle 2. Let's say person 4 tens that one, and they get 0 on the bonus. That goes next. All right, toss-up 3. Let me just give an example using like typing. I'll type in power here, and then I'll type in 30 here, and it works just fine like that. Negs, this is what a neg looks like. So let's say player 3 negs, -5 here. It's still open, but it only closes once either a person gets it right or the toss-up is marked dead. So let me go, let's say this person negs. If you want to mark a toss-up dead, what you do is you go into the bonus column and mark dead toss-up. And you can do it in either bonus column. Marking it dead toss-up here or here just moves it on to the next one. Okay, so let me just like skip to toss-up 10, because that's when, like after halftime is when most substitutions will be happening. So let's say at this time, player 5 for EPC busts through the door, says, hey, sorry, I was late. Can I sub in and toss up 10? So what you can do is go into the roster, just add 5 either by yourself or just get you can notify the tournament director to do that for you. And 5 is right there. They can be added to the score sheet. In order to handle the substitution correctly, if say toss-up person 4 is going out at toss-up 10, you would click toss-up 10 right here, and then player 5 is going in at toss-up 10. And if this is the only substitution pattern, these boxes should remain blank. If someone's like coming in and toss-up 2 and then out toss-up 3, you would put 2 and 3 here. One thing I do want to note here is that as far as I know, there's no like automatic safeguard for like putting in the wrong, a player 4 is supposed to be substituted out, but I can still input a score here. So just be careful that you're not, that you're putting the the toss-ups with the right person, because as far as I know, this doesn't lock, like this doesn't lock 4 out from not answering. I might be a bit wrong on that. Anyways, one thing I do want to emphasize is do not copy and paste things ever. If you make a mistake, like player 5 negs, but actually they powered, just click it once, don't double click, press delete, then just select the right option. Don't like double click anything, don't copy and paste anything, because that has a real tendency to break the score sheets. Okay, so what's the score? Let me input the bonus here. I'm just going to go straight to toss up, like the last toss up, because so that we can talk about tiebreakers. Okay, so let's say for toss up 19 for powers and gets a 30. So it's 70 to 95. So let's say another power and let's say a 10. So toss up 20 is finished. Now we get on to tiebreakers. If you're using NAQT rules, that means that it's 3 toss-ups read in succession, and then whoever wins, wins. So, and TJ Sheets completely supports that. So, let's say they power, they also power up, but then they neg, and then the next team gets it. Like, now the game is done, so you just leave it like that. 105 to 120. The reason it doesn't like automatically do the 3 toss-ups is because there are multiple tiebreaker formats, so it supports all of those. So yeah, I think that's one last thing. Let's say a team forfeits, like let's say a team just doesn't show up. Let's see, what's the next? So in room 101, we have EPE versus EPG. So EPE. If a team forfeits, you need to put that team on the right side here and click forfeits. That automatically sets it to a win for the other team. And if you are monitoring around and it's a bye, you probably shouldn't do a forfeit. Instead, you can just skip, maybe put bye in here and then move all the way around to toss-up 3, where you can just begin scorekeeping again. So that is all I have for a tutorial on how to scorekeep using TJ Sheets. So yeah, hope this was helpful.